Everybody, are you ready for this next guest?
What if they say no? We still have to, you know what I mean? Like,
Still gotta do it.
our hands are tied. Oh, you're in for a treat. She's one of our favorite people, bar none. Incredible actress who, by the way, is on every show on television right now. And a powerhouse singer and great lady. Ladies and gentlemen, Emily Swallow!
Sister.
Yeah.
Guys,
I gotta tell you,
nice intro.
Emily Swallow's story from yesterday that had robbed me laughing is that you came out and you were, when all five of you were doing a panel together, and you came out and you're kind of saying hi to everybody in the band, and you came over to me and gave me a hug, and I started to ask you something, and you go, hold on. And he came over to Rob, and you whispered something to him, and he started laughing, and then you guys started hugging. Now, Rob, I'll let you take the finger. What did Emily whisper to you?
It's very Emily, she's like, so I guess you're supposed to like be dirty dancing or something.
Because it's rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the joke that Rich always makes.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I didn't even say anything. You saw me, and you're like,
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess we're supposed to
I gotta
be dirty
grind on Rob.
dancing or something. And I of course, like, okay, got it.
yes, ma'am.
There were some very flattering shots that were captured.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Good gifts. Good gifts all around. Emily Swallow, everybody.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. It's so nice to see you on a Sunday. I'm not usually around on Sunday. How are you guys feeling? Is there anyone for whom this is like your first day of the convention? Whoa! Yeah! What about those of you who've been here since Friday? Yeah! I love it. Well, I'm really excited to see all of your shining faces and to answer some questions. So let's begin.
This is the way.
Oh, this is the way. Does anybody even know what that is? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, the rest of you get Disney Plus. Hi.
Hi, I'm Amara. I love you in the show. You play the role of Dick's sister, always awesome.
Thank you.
I have this question I have for you last year. All my life I've dealt with bullying and other things because of my social needs. But watching Supernatural helps me survive and thrive and always keep fighting and focus on family and the good. How do you handle bullying or social anxiety when you can't? How do you handle it?
That's a really great question. I would say don't handle it the way Amara does, which is by smiting people. But I love that you asked that because that's actually something that a lot of people have asked, like in some of the meet and greets and stuff yesterday, asked like, how did you connect to Amara? And that's kind of one of the ways in that I felt was I could relate to being misunderstood and to being attacked unfairly. And that's what bullying is, right? Somebody is attacking you. It's not about you. It feels so personal because it is you. And I don't think that there's one perfect answer for how to respond to bullying. I do feel like for me, if I feel like somebody's treating me unfairly or if they're like, using their authority over me in a way that feels unfair, as counterintuitive as it might seem, I try to take a breath in and try to respond with love to that person. Because, and I know that sounds a little vague, like obviously it varies from situation to situation. But ultimately, I think like even bullies, the reason that they act the way they do is because they're afraid, because they're insecure, because they think that they're not living up to something that they're supposed to be, so they're gonna go after people smaller than them and try to assert that kind of authority. And so trying to find like some compassion and some love for that. And then, I mean, practically speaking, just to like engage as little as possible. It's not my job to like tell a bully why they're wrong. And so then that kind of gives me the space to like recenter and reconnect with the part of me that I know is loved and is supported. And then, you know, depending on the person and the situation, like taking it from there. I don't know if that's at all helpful. Okay, good. Well, you're beautiful, and there's a lot of love here and no bullying, because we all support each other. Truly, I mean, it's astonishing to me how supportive this fandom is, and it's beautiful, and I learned so much from you guys, so thank you for that. So lean on all these guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello over there.
Hello. All right, it's absolutely awesome that you play the Forger on Mandalorian. I want to know if you were a Star Wars fan prior to, and how did you go about getting that job?
I was a Star Wars fan prior to. I got the job in a really boring way, which is just that I auditioned for it. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, there's a new Star Wars live action series called The Mandalorian. And it's really fun. I mean, I think like it captures the heart of those original Star Wars movies so beautifully. But yeah, I just got this audition. It didn't even say it was for Star Wars because they were super secretive. And that actually happens a lot. That actually sort of happened. There was a lot of secrecy when I auditioned for Amara too. Like I got these scenes that were not real scenes with definitely not anything to do with like Sam and Dean. So you get these and you think you might know what they're connected to within a show or what other characters, but I just approached it like I would any other audition and then got incredibly fortunate that it went the way it did. Yeah. But thanks for watching it and for enjoying it. Hello.
Hi. What are your thoughts on Chuck/God's actions towards the Earth? And is it possible, since he's kind of going dark side, that it's possible that Amara might become the woman who saves the world?
I think he needs to put on his big boy pants. I mean, come on. Yeah, I think that he is completely abusing his powers. I think he's being incredibly thoughtless and inconsiderate, and I really hope that Amara comes back and puts him in his place, because I think that when we had that little interaction so far this season, it was enough for Amara to be like, to see through him and see that he's up to his old tricks. I think though that she didn't quite understand in that interaction, like how she hasn't really been paying attention to how much destruction he's been doing. So it might take, Sam and Dean calling on her, specifically Dean, because, kind of this connection. But yeah, I think that because he has gone so far that way, that it would be perfectly appropriate for her to show some of her light side, because they're just in opposition to each other, right? And I think that part of the reason she was so poorly behaved when she first came onto the Earth in season 11 is because she was reacting to what she thought she was getting from him. She had been put away in this box. She, wasn't allowed to even interact with the rest of creation. And then when she got out, everyone was telling her how great this God guy was, and he wouldn't even come talk to her. So I think a lot of her anger and a lot of the smiting and the soul sucking and, not so tasteful ways of behaving, I think that was in response to him. So now that he's displaying this completely childish and unfortunately very destructive behavior, I think that she could definitely come back and be a force of good. Yeah, fingers crossed, right? Something's gotta give. Hello.
Hi, my question is, I thought about this in one of my EMT classes.
You say EMT?
Yeah.
So you're a rescue worker? Awesome.
Which I shouldn't have been, but I just thought that Chuck said, that he wants to start over, build this new thing that he's done with the creations he has created. How do you think Amara would want to create the world if she was the one that was like, I created this? How do you think, what would she do to have the perfect world for her?
Well, if you'd asked me that in season 11, it would have been a different answer, because she kept saying to Dean, wouldn't it be great if it was all just kind of vague, nothing, she wanted she wanted something that wasn't necessarily evil, but also wasn't good. She wanted this vague in-between thing. But I think that was just because she couldn't reconcile this part of her that was so intensely wanting to be connected to her brother and to be vulnerable and to have connection and to risk that. So it felt safer. I mean, she was doing what, like, I guess we kind of do in our lives sometimes when we want to just numb out because we don't want to deal with the reality of what's going on. But I think now that she's been spending some time in Reno, and life is a lot more colorful, I think it would be a darn fun world that she would create. I think everybody would get a slot machine. They would always win. I think that we would all be wearing like beautiful pastel suits. I wish you guys had seen all of the amazing colors that we tried on when we were trying to figure out what suit she would wear in that episode in Reno. I think, and I used to say this before we got to season 15, and I did come back, I said, you know, I think that like because of all of the like pain and the sorrow and the anger that she'd been dealing with, I think like she would want to live in like a big loft apartment that just has like video games everywhere and one of those like big, like do you remember the piano that you could walk on from the movie Big? So she would be like writing songs on that. So yeah, and candy for everyone and all you can eat buffets. I guess the world would be kind of like Reno, which might be really exhausting after a while, but it'd be fun at first. Yeah. Thanks.
Hi.
Hey.
First of all, I've loved you since The Mentalist. You're an incredible actress.
Thank you.
Secondly, your voice is incredible. Have you ever thought about working on Broadway, or would you want to?
I actually have. It was a while ago. Yeah, no, I started acting in theater, and I used to do a lot more musicals, and I did a few musicals in New York. One of them was on Broadway, and it was a musical of the movie, do you guys remember High Fidelity? Yeah, the John Cusack movie. So they made a Broadway musical out of it. I'm not surprised, though, that you don't know that I did that, because we ran for maybe a month. It was really short-lived. We did an out-of-town tryout in Boston, like while they were writing it and, you know, working on it and stuff, and then we opened in New York and it closed so quickly. And I might like to go back and do a musical on Broadway. I, though, have kind of a short attention span. I like getting to play lots of different characters and lots of different things. And so I think after like a couple of months of doing that, I'd be ready to move on to the next thing. Besides the fact that like my husband is a Broadway singer, actor. Some of you have seen him perform. And when you're singing every day, and that, you know, that's your job, like you have to pay a lot more attention to your voice and maintaining that and being careful, and it's a lot of responsibility. And I'm very responsible in other ways, but I'm also kind of talkative and loud, and it might be hard to like be quiet and keep my voice ready for a show. So the answer is yes for a little while. I would like to do that. But thank you so much for that compliment about my voice. That means a lot. Now over here.
Hi, Emily.
Hey.
First off, quick little question. I just really wanted to, I know a lot was going on with your dog, and I just wanted to first ask how your dog was doing.
That's so sweet. She's doing okay. She just got over her second bout of pneumonia. So I have a dog named Norma Jean Meatballs. She has her own Instagram account. And it was actually a year ago tomorrow that we got her, and in the short year that we've had her, she's been really, really sick a few times, but she's doing okay now. And I learn a lot from her, because even when she's sick and she's on all these different medications, she's so spunky, and she's such a social dog. She brings so much love to people, and she's, you know, my husband and I say we're taking care of her, but really she's taking care of us. But this is a two-part question, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my other question was just kind of a silly one, but what would a Thanksgiving dinner look like with Amara, Chuck, Lucifer, Gabriel, Castiel?
Do you mean like what dishes would they serve, or what would happen at the table?
Yeah, like what kind of food you guys would eat and like what kind of interactions and conversations you
Oh
would
my
have.
gosh, how much time do you have? I sort of feel like we should like reenact this somehow. You guys have your cosplay, maybe we could do a Thanksgiving cosplay. Get some food brought in. I think it would be a mess. There'd be a food fight for sure. Because, you know, what do they always say, like, if you're trying to maintain peace at a family gathering, like, don't talk about politics, and to our supernatural world, like, their lives are politics. It's all political. The hierarchy of the universe and all that. I don't think it would be a place that I would want to spend Thanksgiving. I do wonder, shout out some of the dishes that you think they might serve. Deviled eggs, yes. Oh, that's good. Angel food cake. Somebody said, oh, pie, definitely pie. Alcohol, oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Alcohol and pie and, oh, it would be a disaster. And hopefully there will be like a webcam or a nanny cam like somewhere in the dining room so we can all just watch and be really glad that we're not there. That's such a fun question. Thank you. Now I'm going to be thinking about that all day. I hope that all of you have a much nicer Thanksgiving.
Hi, I was wondering what is the hardest part about being Amara because you're so sweet.
Oh, thanks. Well, it is. It's funny because when I first started coming to the conventions, I felt like people were a little apprehensive to meet me, and I realized it was because you guys were all worried that I was like Amara, and by now you've seen that I'm like the dorkiest, goober-tastic idiot in a good way. I hope. It's actually, it feels good to be bad as Amara because I don't really let that out in real life. I try to find ways to like understand people and get along with people, but I feel like we've all got those feelings, and so being given an opportunity to put them in a place that's productive and safe is really awesome. But definitely, like, the more I got to know everyone that I was working with, it was hard sometimes to have to be a jerk to them when I wanted to just be like, oh my gosh, I understand. No, I don't mean it. I'm not mad. It's okay. Or, suck somebody's soul when they're just like a random passerby. But other than that, it was just really fun, I have to say. So, yeah. But I still try not to be like that in real life. My big brother might say otherwise. My real brother, who's not God, no matter what he tries to convince you. What's up, Wonder Woman?
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is, do you think Amara still loves her brother Chuck?
What do you think?
I don't know.
I think she does. I think she does. I think that love, I think that he's the most important person. Can we call him a person? We'll call him a person. He's the most important being to her. And she might not disagree with him right now, and there might be a lot of things about him that she doesn't love, but I hope she still loves him because I want to feel like there's some way to find understanding with the mess that's going on. But love is challenging sometimes. And I would like to think that she would be big enough to find a way to love him, even though he's definitely struggling right now. I don't really know what happened in the family counseling that we went and did, but you guys, don't go to that therapist, whoever it was. Thank you, sweetheart.
Hi.
Hi.
Two things. One, I love your outfit.
Thank you.
So cute.
This is actually a pajama top. So I can go to sleep if I want.
And then two, I'm currently wearing the the Hogwarts School for hunting, and I was wondering
Nice.
what your Harry Potter house was.
Uh-oh. This is where I get revealed. I don't really know much about Harry Potter. What does it mean to have a Harry Potter house?
Slytherin, which is
I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to learn!
there's Slytherin, which is like ambitious and kind of Dean's house is Slytherin. Then there's Ravenclaw.
Well, I'm gonna be in Dean's house.
Ravenclaw's the smart side. They're the ones who will throw a book at you that's 1,000 pages and say, I read this overnight, and you'll be like, excuse me,
Know-it-alls,
what?
whatever.
And then the Gryffindors are the brave ones. They're the ones who, even if it's the apocalypse outside, they'll go outside to the grocery store and go and get some milk.
Yeah, I wanna be brave.
And then there's Hufflepuff, which is Castiel's more site. They're the sweet ones. They're the ones where like you'll be best friends with up until you betray them, in which they will try and kill you.
Oh. Well, what do you think Amara's would be?
I feel like Amara would be a Slytherin with Dean, but then for you, I feel like you would be a Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds fun. All right. Oh, I learned something today. Thank you.
Hi.
What's up?
No, Cass. Okay, Cass was in the MP once, right? And he woke up, and the MP told him that God had no say in the MP.
Are you saying
In the MP, like yes,
Okay.
after like the angel and the devils they die, they go to the MP, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this season, Chuck kind of went ahead and pulled Lilith from MP, which was said that he couldn't have done before, but now he did. That got me wondering. You are the big sister. If he could pull, Lilith, could you pull like Crowley or like you know?
I can do whatever I want because I'm the big sister. I mean, you're asking me, Emily. I could be like, yeah, definitely, but I don't write for the show, so I can't help you there. Although I do sometimes. Have any of you seen, I haven't done one in a while, my rewritten scenes for Supernatural, or just like rewritten captions, I guess. I need to do some more of those. I fancy myself a writer. Usually the things that I write are much sillier than what actually happens. Yeah, I mean, I think she could. I think with Amara, it's always a little bit like what's in it for her, so it would have to benefit her. And I'm not sure which of those people that you would like to see come back, who do you think would most benefit Amara? I'm hearing some Crowley whispers.
I think whoever Chuck kind of smite next, Amara would probably want to bring him or her back.
That's such a big sister response. Chuck like does all this work to smite somebody, and she's like, "Oh yeah, undid it."
Bring Jack back. Jack to beat God.
We got a Jack and a Crowley. I don't know. We'll see. That's a very interesting question. Thank you. Hello, this side again.
Hi. If you could be any side character, male or female, who would it be?
Any side character? You mean on Supernatural?
Yes.
What does it mean to be a side character?
Like half the season there and half not.
Oh, so just like a different character?
Yes.
Well, I've always thought I wanted to be Rowena, but she's not a side character. Oh, there's so many interesting people. I mean, I often say Baby too, but Baby is like kind of the main deal. My brain is, who would be interesting for Amara to moonlight as?
Charlie?
Oh, Charlie's so cool! But I don't think Charlie is I guess my problem is I feel like everybody's a main character. Because everyone who I think is cool, I'm like, well, they're cool, they're a big part. Oh, it'd be so much fun to be Charlie. For sure. Yeah, done. Dunskies. Except I kind of want to just be Charlie's best friend, so maybe I can be Charlie's sidekick. Amara's going to be Charlie's sidekick now. I like that. Kind of like Thelma and Louise, but weirder.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
I just want to say first, I really like you because you're the first one that I saw last year when I walked in. I was like, it's Darkness, she's on stage. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
But now, I really.
But now you don't like me.
No, I do.
Still. It happens.
No. I just want to know, what do you think Amara's favorite thing to do in Reno is? Like.
Oh yeah, getting a massage can be risky, as we've all seen. Getting a massage, because that's Emily's favorite thing to do, I think, in Reno. I've been to Reno like once. I think getting a massage after like a really thrilling day of playing Keno. Because, there's a lot of stress when you're gambling. You don't know if you're going to lose everything or win the house, or it's very, very tiring. So then getting a massage from Kimiko, which, funny story to me at least, I got that scene and there's this masseuse and I was pronouncing it Kimiko. And Bob Singer, who was directing that episode, he said, no, it's Kimiko, and it's actually based on one of our friends, so we want to make sure we get the name right. So that masseuse is an actual person. I don't know where she is, but maybe I need to go find her. Apparently she's very talented, although now she has been smited. Thank you. Hi.
So my question is, if you, like yourself as Emily, met Amara, what do you think your reaction would be?
Oh, how much do I know about her?
Like you knew her entire past or her.
Oh, so I knew she could smite me. Well, I think I would first of all say, you can have Dean. I'm not going to go anywhere near him. I don't even like him. Try to get away from that potential battle zone. I think I would maybe show her some fun YouTube videos of Rob singing to maybe get her to not be so ticked off at Chuck. I would introduce her to my dog, because I think how could she be upset if she saw my dog? I just try to kill her with kindness and cuteness and distract her from wanting to smite things and all that. Yeah. Thanks. Hi.
I just wanted to, I'm a nervous wreck. Okay.
Don't be nervous. We're all friends.
Something that Nisha said about the ending of the last show.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I know, but he said, this is what he said, we were going to be happy and we were going to be sad. So I know all of us, especially the older ones that watch these boys grow up, we don't want them to die. So,
I understand.
So that would be, but I think you can fix this if you check Chuck.
Oh my gosh, this is so much pressure.
And plus, then he said we were going to be happy, but Castiel can't be happy because if he be happy, then the empty's going to get. So,
if Castiel's happy, what?
He goes to the empty.
Right.
I don't think he took that into consideration yesterday.
Wait, so what's the question?
So, this is just a suggestion, hopefully that you can check Chuck and keep the boys alive because you brought Mary Winchester back. So, oh man.
You guys, I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, so you can just make sure that the boys, if they do bite the dust, go to heaven and be with John and Mary.
I think the moral of the story is that we're all going to have a lot of complicated emotions about the end. Once again, I have no power to tell the writers what to write, but I like what you're saying. I like that there could be a way that things could turn out relatively okay. But it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess in great ways, and it's going to be a mess in really, it's the end. And it's beautiful, and it's sad, and it's just going to, I truly don't know what the ending is at this point, and I'm kind of glad because I don't know, it'd be hard to keep that secret. But it's going to be very, very complicated. But if Amara can come back and do some good, hopefully she will. Hi.
Hi, my name is Shelby Kraut, and I've been
Shelby.
wanting to be a writer for a long time, and I was wondering
Awesome.
if you had any advice for somebody who wants to write.
Well, I think my advice for somebody who wants to write is the same as my advice for anybody who wants to do anything creative, which is, first of all, like, really get in touch with yourself with, like, why it is that you want to do it, and what you want to express, and what you connect to, because there's so many different voices out there that can tell you what you should be doing. What do you, have you started, do you right now?
I do. I've written a couple of short stories, and I've been working on a book series about horses, second chances, and families.
That's awesome. And do you, like, share those with anyone right now?
I shared it with a couple people, but the series I've been working on for 7 years, and it's going, it's complicated.
It's complicated. It's always complicated, isn't it? I think also I would just say, and this is so simple, but it's true, like, just keep doing it. Like, all the best creators that I know of, whether they're painters or they're musicians or they're writers or they're actors, they make it a creative habit. They do it even on days when they feel like they have nothing to give. They do it on days when they feel like they have everything to give and they're excited. You know, they just make it a habit so that they don't psych themselves out in their heads. But I think in terms of, like, sharing it and getting ideas, it's such an incredible time we live in right now, because you have resources online and you can, like, share it, you know, with a small community of people or with a huge community of people, and you can get feedback. And I think it's definitely important to consider who you're sharing things with, like, at certain stages, because it's a very vulnerable thing to create. And so you want to protect it while it's still kind of in the formative stages. But it sounds like you're already on the right track. Is there anything specific that you feel like you struggle with?
Probably just getting it from my head to the page.
Yeah.
Getting it out and figuring the right direction it needs to go.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of the process. You kind of throw it all out there and try not to judge it at first, and then you hone it for yourself. You hone it by sharing it with other people, but just keep at it. And that's fantastic that you found a way to express yourself. I'm excited for you. So cool. Good luck. Yeah. You got all the support here. Nice. Oh, we have more people over here now. Hello, lovelies.
Hi. I was wondering, what was your reaction when you found out that you got your role on The Mandalorian?
I was confused because I didn't know what it was. I was, like, very cautiously excited, and this is kind of my way. Like, I get a role that I think could be really cool, and I'm really cautious about it because you have no idea, or maybe you do, maybe, you know, those of you who are in the arts in some way, but, like, there's so many times when you think something is going to happen and then something falls through and it doesn't. I think I was not quite sure what it was, but when I found out it had something to do with Star Wars, I was just kind of, like, giddily excited, because it's just it's such an incredible collection of stories, and I was excited that I would get to be a part of the telling of that. But yeah, I shot this thing a year ago before it was ever even announced, and I did not really know the scope of what I was doing, which in some ways was great because I could just approach it like I would anything else and not get stressed out about it. Because, you know, it's funny, like, when you're part of something that you know a lot of people love, there's also, like, you feel a great sense of responsibility. And I definitely feel that with Supernatural. Like, I know that this is a series that people love and care for, and it means a lot to them, so it means a lot to me, and I want to serve that story as best I can. And that's definitely how I was feeling about Star Wars. But it's also just been so fun, because it's just it's just fun, and it makes me feel like I'm a little kid again, which is nice, because I'm not, even though I act like it. I'm a little older. Hello.
Hi, Emily. So I'm a mental health counselor, and
Thank you.
No problem. I tend to psychoanalyze a lot of characters in the show. What is
This
it?
is going to be interesting.
My question for you is, what has it been like as an actress to pathologize Amara from hate and destruction to being okay with your brother, then to go into being okay with yourself and kind of making that distance?
Well, the hate and destruction I always felt like came from that relationship with her brother, and it came from the hurt and the confusion and the defensiveness, because like I remember, I think the writers are just so brilliant. They gave me this character who, yes, is, you know, incredibly powerful and incredibly destructive, but I think we relate to her because of the very human thing of like wanting to be understood and not wanting to be criticized and not wanting to feel like an outcast. And it's like she got to the party that started at like 8 o'clock. She got there at like midnight and everyone's already been partying, and the host is Chuck, and everyone's like, this is the best party ever. And she was like, I didn't even get an invitation. I didn't even know this was happening. And then people are like, what's wrong with you? He's great, he's the best. Why are you so mad? And that just makes you more mad. I mean, oh man, when I was growing up, the quickest way for my brother to get me upset would be to say like, why are you so upset? What's wrong? Why are you getting so emotional? That's the worst! And somebody's like, don't get upset. So I think that the hate and destruction was all in response to that, wanting to be understood. And then I think she started to feel that connection with Chuck, and that was great. But then she realized, I think where she is now, I think she's hiding a little bit, honestly, because she's just avoiding the problem that's still there. Because they are connected, whether she wants them to be or not. And she doesn't want to have to deal with them. She doesn't want to get in there and, you know, they had this tremendous battle, and then they had this beautiful coming together in this pretty garden, and then they floated off into some party land. And now it's real life. And I think they're dealing with a real complicated relationship. So I think now she's sort of hiding from that, but needs to deal with it. Maybe they can come to you. You don't want to deal with that mess. I understand. Thank you. You never know. Never know till you try.
Have you ever had a weird or awkward interaction with a celebrity that you admire?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of which one. Oh man. I mean, I have awkward interactions all the time with everyone on Supernatural, and I admire all of them a lot. I mean, we were just talking a few minutes ago about, you know, my fake brother and I fake humping in front of a whole bunch of people. That's awkward. But I guess you probably mean, like, have I embarrassed myself in front of somebody, or, I don't think I have. I probably have. I feel like I was doing a play last summer with Tom Hanks, and so I feel like there was a lot of the time where I was probably just like staring at him like, you're the most amazing human being in the world. And then, you know, he's just a normal person, so he's like, what's going on? Funny story about if you're ever in a room with Tom Hanks, don't leave your phone unattended, because he'll pick it up and you know, you can use the camera without unlocking the phone. So then when you come back to your phone, you have a bunch of dorky selfies of him, which is actually kind of fun. But you know, he thinks, oh man, I'm gonna get you. Have you had any awkward or embarrassing interactions? Good for you. See, you're doing better than I am. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So, my dad asked me to ask you a question about the Mandalorian.
Where's your dad?
He's not here. He's a pastor, so he can't.
I was about to say lazy.
I mean, it's just old people in our church. You can't say I love Lucifer without them being like, what?
You can't say what?
Sorry? I love Lucifer. You can't say that. But anyway, so my little sister over here saw that line was shorter and went over there and already asked you the question. So I guess she's trying to one-up me. So screw you, Sarah.
Where's Sarah? I can't have bright lights in my eyes. Sarah!
don't cheer for her.
So what's the question?
Anyway, so in the 2 minutes that I had to come up with a question.
Okay, yeah.
Now it's super lame. So what's your favorite weird food combination?
My favorite weird food combination, oh golly. I mean, I really like salty and sweet things together. I like to put potato chips in my ice cream. That's not that weird though, is it? It's not weird because it's good. I don't think of any of them as weird. That's the thing. It might be to you. What's your favorite weird food combination?
I mean, I eat like a 4-year-old, so it's basically just like mac and cheese all the time. So I don't really have a weird food. I mean, the weirdest I get is putting ranch dressing on my salad, so.
That's not weird.
I know, that's the point. Like, there's nothing weird about anything that I eat.
I have a story for your dad though. Because back when I was, so I grew up in Jacksonville, this is my hometown. And I grew up going to a church called Inglewood Christian Church that's here in Jacksonville, and my parents still go there, and I go with them whenever I go home. And it was the season that I was first started playing The Darkness, and it had started to air. And I'm in the church, and there's a lobby that's like about the length of this stage, and I'm over here talking to my mom. And then this guy at the other end of the lobby goes, "Hey, it's The Darkness!" at church! And most of these people have no idea what he's talking about. And I was just like, I didn't know. I was like genuinely worried. So I can understand why your dad might not want to talk about going to the Supernatural convention when he's talking to the parishioners. It's a fair point. But thank you for being here, and your sister Sarah, even though you think she's a brat. You think your sister's a brat? Yeah, that's right. Look at Rob's amazing, is it even a jacket? Because it kind of looks like a shirt.
It's a shacket.
It's a shacket. Oh, I thought you were hugging me, Mike. You were just trying to get by.
Aww. Aww.
Put that in your favorites.
Mike has a button that says, I love loud and swing.
Yeah, Mike's a self-supporter today.
Self-love.
Mike did that to me yesterday. I was like, Mike was walking by, I'm like, oh, here comes Mike. I guess I'll, give Mike a proper alleyway to get to his base, and he just goosed me and went right behind me.
He's a sneaky one, that Borja.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I don't have my phone, but yesterday I posted, I don't know if Billy and Michael know this, but they were the subject of a poll that I posted. Because we have all these beds in the green room, because these guys need some sleep, and so I posted a little picture, and I said, it's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I said, who do you think would be Goldilocks, Billy or Michael? And I remember last night, Billy was winning by just a little bit, so it's just right, you guys.
So if you're Goldilocks, the photo only had those two dudes in it?
No, the photo was just the beds. There were no dudes in it, but I could only select 2 options for who Goldilocks would be. I'm not good at the stories on the Instagrams and the...
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, well, congratulations to Billy Moran, by the way, Goldilocks.
Congrats, Billy.
That's great. Sorry, buddy, but there's always 2020. If I recall, back in for anybody who remembers the old days of Supernatural, back when Loudon Swain used to dress as the Elastic Waistband, Michael wore a long blonde wig at the convention.
Sure did.
And
had a British accent.
Alter ego, Sir Richard Furlong.
Right.
So, had that contest been held back then, you would have been a shoe-in.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. Emily Swallow.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.